This is my way, it's my life, it's my world, and I'm creating, nothing can change who I am.
Well, I gotta say it was very nice that to hear Homegrown, because I remember many years ago, with the start of the Dutch magazine I.O. pages, they sent a small compilation CD with it.
That's right.
Because
and that was the demo. That was the demo I was talking with Guy Fletcher.
Yeah, and that song was on it, and I really believe that was the very first solo music I ever heard from you.
Yeah, it would have been.
Before that, I only knew the Landmarq and Threshold material, but that was the first solo material.
Well, it's quite weird, really, because what had happened is this story. This is a long time ago. I don't know if I told you this, but the drummer of one of the bands I won't name everyone here, but the drummer of one of the bands I was with had a couple of Dutch people who turned up at his door, and he let them kind of stay in his house, or his flat, and then he had to go and do some drum tuition, and he said, "Oh, let yourself out," and. It appears that they let themselves out, and on their way out, they took a few tapes off his collection, that they kind of took an interest in. And he called me up and he goes, "Damian," he goes, "I think they may have some of your tapes." And I was like, "That's all right, doesn't matter. What can it be? How bad can it be? It's fine." And I thought nothing of it. And then a number of years later, it was around the time I think I was doing interviews for solo stuff, and it wasn't years, it was probably months. But around the time of doing the solo stuff, I got a call from this guy who I didn't know, and I don't know how he got my number. It was obviously through a journalist or somebody, press, and he got my number, and I picked up the phone and I heard this song, Homegrown, being sung down the phone, and I was just like, "Man, how do you know that song? I don't, that's not released. No one knows that song."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, my mate gave me a copy of this tape." And it's like, "Oh no!" And this guy had put the demos of my first album on, and I'd been working with Guy Fletcher.
Yeah.
I put them all kind of on the internet for sale. In those days they weren't downloaded, but he was put them up for people to buy them.
Yeah.
Now I didn't have anything. He wouldn't be making a lot of money out of this because there wasn't that much interest in it. But he was obviously spreading my new album that was demoed but not ready amongst the the people on the internet. And as a result, when I came out with Landmarq to do my first shows, the audience was singing Homegrown, and it hadn't been released.
Okay.
So because of that, I thought, well, I might as well put the demo out on a few magazines and things, so it's out and about,
Okay.
And so that's why Homegrown ended up on the I.O. pages. Yeah. And of course, I was on the front page of I.O. pages.
Yes, that's
Great.
true.
That was how many years ago was that? It's got how many years ago? Ooh, it's got almost 20, isn't it? It's got a long time, certainly.
It's a long time ago.
17 or 16 years.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times they put me on the front page of I.O. pages?
No.
Just
I
once.
didn't keep
just
track.
once. That's it.
Just once.
In fact, I don't even think I've had a mention ever since.
No, they'll probably mention you. Some small article probably.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think it was at the time, again, I remember when the Classic Rock Society called me up, and they said, around the same kind of time, and they said, "We'd like to congratulate you on getting the job with Iron Maiden." And it's like, "Oh, really?" I said, "I haven't got the job with Iron Maiden." And they go, "Bugger, put it in the magazine." Who told me I got the job with Iron Maiden? And it'd already gone out in the magazine, apparently. I never saw it, but apparently. And that was when they gave me a lovely award, my first Classic Rock Society award. Since I've 8 awards or something, which is great. Not always nice to get an award.
Yeah.
Well, it is. I don't get an awful lot of awards, but now and again when they turn up, it's always never a bad thing, is it? It's always nice to get a pat on the back. Although, to be honest with you, I think there's normally somebody out there more deserving than myself, but it's always nice anyway.
Yeah. It's true. It's nice to get recognition that they appreciate what you do.
Yeah, of course.
It's
absolutely.
not work, of course.
No, it's a bit of fun. Just having a bit of fun. That's what I'm doing.
That's true.
I spoke to God and he said to me that he was troubled by our hypocrisy. He was trying to speak, but he could not breathe. The smoke and the smoke.
You didn't get the job with Iron Maiden, but you're still singing Iron Maiden with Maiden.
That's right,
of course,
yes,
but
yes.
very different, of course.
Well, and that's weird as well, because when Ruud Joly said to me, he said, so we had this project. Now, Ruud, we did a show in Eindhoven with Ruud, with Within Temptation, and Ruud had seen us play when I was in the Threshold when he was a little boy.
Okay.
With his dad, he came and saw us play, and so he was, so he was very complimentary about me and the band, and he liked Threshold, and so when I did DWB, which was the tour, when I did the DWB tour, I was trying to get musicians that I thought that I'd like to work with, and I thought we're going to get Ruud in. I came in. And if anyone has seen the DVD of DWB and knows the chaos and the grief that Joly was put under doing that particular tour, I owed him quite a lot, to be honest, and just for his support. So when he said he had a mate who wanted to do this album with this project called Maiden United. Immediately I was like, no, not covers, Iron Maiden, no, acoustic, no, not a chance. And then I thought, I really do owe him big time. Okay, I'll humour him, just humour him for a bit, go along with it, then perhaps not find the time, Anyway, so I humoured him. And I then learnt a little bit more, and he said, they want to do Peace of Mind album, and I was like, that's my favourite Iron Maiden album, because I'd almost died to the Peace of Mind album. I got knocked off the road whilst listening to Peace of Mind, and the particular song that was playing in my car, I literally got pushed off the road by another car, and the song that was playing at the time was Die With Your Boots On. Okay. And I flew over a place in England, which is outside London, called the Devil's Punch Bowl. And I flew into the Devil's Punch Bowl whilst listening to Die With Your Boots On. And do you know the worst thing? It felt great. It was brilliant. And I went crashing down into this valley, and into these trees, and all the way through these trees. It was a hired car, by the way, it wasn't my car, it's fine. All the way through these trees, and then straight into this tree, and man, it was. Well, I actually felt like getting out of the car and getting into another one. And I made them, sort of pumping out that system, and so I kind of felt very. It was. Peace of Mind was the first album that I ever heard of Iron Maiden's as an album, and it was around the time when Steve Harris and all the crowd were looking at me for a possibility of the job, and I didn't know Iron Maiden. I knew of them, but I didn't know the stuff. And we played through The Trooper as a demo, and I don't know. I thought, man, this is good. I just liked it. I thought I can really do something with this, and I just got a great interest in it. And then the songs just all feel like my songs. They don't feel like Iron Maiden's. Great.
Yeah.
Can change the past, you'll find it hard to face the thoughts you wish you dreamed.
Trooper.
Yeah, and so,
You mentioned
and so that was the first, and then I kind of lit up to the album, and then like now we've just been working on the second album, and real performances, really great. I went in there, we did 6 tracks in an afternoon, and they feel like my songs. They really, they don't feel like Steve's or Bruce Dickinson's, and that's great. I mean, obviously they are Steve's and Bruce Dickinson's. They're not my songs. But when you can present them like they're your own, you realise you've got something to offer. Yeah, that's it. And I know it's not everybody's taste, but I love the opportunity of singing them. Although there's been a couple of times when people have asked me on stage to sing The Trooper with bands, and I just it's like. Now, don't get me wrong, because when I played The Trooper with Iron Maiden, when it was at Steve Harris's place, oh my God, we played through it. It's like, Steve, Nico, let's play it again. And they played the thing to death. They must have been so bored, And they're like, just take humour. Come on, play it again. Come on, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And it was great. But now, I every now and again I'll go somewhere and goes, The Trooper, and I get on stage and it's like, you take my... Suddenly it all becomes very laid back and lounge-like. I can't keep up with the speed of it.
Okay.
So yes, I don't know whether I've done it justice, so elsewhere, but on the album, I love it. I love The Trooper. I love those songs so much. Yeah. And on the last album, Revelations, love the song. Brilliant. They're all great. In this album, we've got. I don't know whether we're allowed to mention the songs we've got on this album, but I'm going to anyway. 2 Minutes to Midnight, Only the Good Die Young, and Children of the Damned.
Yeah, that's. So we have a lot to look forward to, which is very nice, of course. Now, the one band I had in mind to ask you something about has already been mentioned. Okay. Which is, of course, Threshold.
Oh, Threshold, yeah.
Because there's a new album coming up from them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's going to be a very strong album. I haven't heard the album. I haven't heard the mixes yet, but I know there's a lot of vocals, a lot of harmonies, and real layered vocals, which is something that I've only done on Threshold recently, and it's because of working with Richard and Carl. If you listen to Headspace, there is really, very few backing vocals, and a lot of the vocals are done by Adam and the other guys in the band. Yeah. And it's not a big, huge vocal thing. There's a choir in it, yes, that's quite big vocals, but it's not all me. Whereas Threshold, I've done lots of vocals, and it's a lot of work, and it's very kind of in your face, and then I think it's going to be a blinding album. Again, I've got to listen to I know how much work I've done into it. I'm dying to listen to it. I know it's the mixes, everyone seems happy with them, and I think it's going to be a really, really, really good album, but I haven't heard it yet. And the thing about it, I think these 3 albums that I've got coming up this year are going to be my best albums. I think Headspace is the concept, and the whole thing is so me, yet with this huge influence of and input from these great musicians, Pete and Lee and Adam and Richard, and that gives it something that I could never ever produce it on my own. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's got so much of me in it as well, and with the concept and everything, I think it's a really, really special album, and I think Threshold is going to be an incredibly strong album. I think Maine United's new album is just real performances, and really special for that too. But they're all different. It's great, really great, really good.
And a lot of nice things to look forward to. Now, I understood that you'll be playing again here at Lakei in Helmond.
That's right, with Headspace, which is in September, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, good.
Okay. You'll be probably touring with Threshold as well, or no plans?
Without a doubt, I think definitely. I don't know. Don't know entirely when, but we will do. Yeah, we've got to.
And then you still.
We're not just going to do an album and you're not going to tour it.
That's true. That's true.
We're going to be touring like mad. Yeah. I'm hoping so. But it's like Headspace as well. I think it's you know, we want to tour a lot with Headspace,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it's just getting everyone to be available for the tours. It's like really hard. And I think Threshold, I think it's a similar thing, but it will happen,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope it happens in a big way. And I want to see us touring like that, because I'm only ever happy when I'm touring. Only ever happy when I'm touring. I'm a traveller, really,
Yeah.
by heart. I mean, I kind of, I live in a boat, and I basically, my life is like being on tour anyway. I just, it's life for me.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we're going to tour Threshold like mad. I know Maine United's touring heavily too, and Headspace as much as we can too.
Okay. So we have a lot of possibilities to see you on stage.
Hopefully,
in the coming time.
a lot of possibilities, but but hopefully not in a tedious, boring way. I hope you don't get tired of me. You know.
I doubt it very much. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers, Marcel.
For
Thank you very
taking
much.
the time.
Cheers, guys. Everyone watching.
Well, see you next time on stage.
Yeah, you will do. Good man. Cheers, mate. See you later.
Look into these troubled eyes. Tell me what you see. There's a light inside of me. There's a world that keeps me willing, keeps me yearning to believe that this hope, the world is free. There's a light that seems to shine each time we speak. A word is alive for all to hear. A longing that will stand the wave of time. We're still in this world that you and I.